So again, my name is Lily, and we would be having this interview today. Can you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your background and also your current role in STEM?
Okay. Thank you very much for the invite. My name is Mujeebat Bashiru. I'm currently a fourth-year PhD student at the University of Arkansas at Little Rock here at the United States of America. I am actually a Nigerian, born and brought up in Nigeria, but I actually transitioned to the US in 2018 just because of the motive of, actually pursuing my advanced degree in chemistry. So I think that's it.
Okay. All right. And do you have a specialization in chemistry or you're just studying chemistry?
Yes, I have a specialization.
Okay.
Actually, it's the applied science, right? And with applied science, what this deals with is that we try to lay our hands on stuff. Mm-hmm. We actually are involved in like the material chemistry, like where we put things together. We try to synthesize possibly the drugs, some materials, and then we find applications to various fields such as the health related, the energy related, energy, the environment, as well as health. But mostly I'm majorly involved in the cancer related research. That is the health aspect of particular research lab. Yeah.
That's really nice. And what initially sparked your interest in STEM, and how did you decide to pursue a career in this current field?
Thank you so much for that wonderful question. Actually, right from my childhood, I've always wanted to be a medical doctor. But I guess God has better plans for me, right? So we all know the system of Nigeria. If you're not connected, you're just gonna be, like you would be eliminated. Like what I'm trying to basically say is that I actually merited the admission or to get admitted into the medical school back in Nigeria, but due to one reason or the other, you know how the universities work. If you're not an indigene, if you're not from this particular state and you actually chose this university, you just have to be scrapped out. But nevertheless, I'm grateful for where I am today anyway. But just to cut the story short, that was actually my, my dream. My dream was actually to become a medical doctor, but I found myself in the chemistry department. You know how if you don't get the medical admittance, you can get other courses instead. And if you are interested, you either take it or you sit at home, right? So I decided to take the offer, and with the prospect of retrying, after a few years. So that means that after my fourth year, because the undergraduate program is just for 4 years, right? After my fourth year, I actually went again. I took the same process all over again just because of my commitment. I wanted to actually become this medical doctor, like medicine or no cost. That's what they usually call us, right? So I actually took the JAM, the post-JAM, and all of these when my colleagues were actually serving. I was still there saying, oh, I still want this. So I retried it again. I was also giving another course that is not actually the the medicine. So I was actually giving zoology again. I'm like, oh, with this zoology, I'm not going to take this. I'll preferably, pursue my chemistry and then pursue an advanced degree in chemistry. And then I thought about it that, of course, if I'm not a medical doctor, so to say, I could still be a doctor in my field, right? And since I wasn't bad, I did, because I usually do everything possible to be, I put in my best. Let me just put it that way. I put in my best in all I do. And so I actually came out in flying colors. I had a 2-1, so to say, of which the first class was actually very, very rare for my course or my department. So I got that and I was like, oh, let me just proceed with an advanced degree career in chemistry. And I wanted to actually study back home, but I thought all of this, I wasn't even interested. I actually got admitted for the master's program back home, but I decided to neglect the admission and, pursue or try to get admitted into the university in the US, and got so good. Everything went, it wasn't really smooth, but of course, everything later came out right at the end of the day. And I gained admission into this particular school. And I decided to, transition down in 2018. So since 2018, I've been here trying to obtain my PhD degree, and thankfully I'm counting down as we speak. So I could say generally my passion for trying to, my passion to actually impact people, to make a difference, to be impactful in whatever I do, is actually what motivated me to stick with the STEM career, even though my dream, which was my, my initial dream of becoming a medical doctor, may not be a reality, but I can actually say that I'm in the pathway to materialize my, becoming a doctor in my field, which was actually the chemistry that I studied right from my undergrad.
Okay, hey, that's really nice. So you did mention that you applied for a master's program back in Nigeria, but you came here for your PhD. So was it like a combined PhD and master's program?
Absolutely, yes.
That's nice. So you transitioned from the master's to the PhD for this your current program.
From the bachelor's to the PhD.
Wow,
Yes.
that's really nice.
Universities in the US allows you to, get admitted with your bachelor's degree, but you have to have it at the back of your mind that you definitely get your master's on your way to getting your PhD.
Mm-hmm.
So during that, you take some coursework, you take some lab rotation, and that fulfills the requirements of you, getting a master's certificate or a degree as it is called here. And from there, once you're done with your coursework, you then, fully specialize in the research, which is what I'm currently doing right now. So that would hand you your PhD degree. But with the coursework, you can have your master's degree.
Okay, all right, that's really nice.
Yeah.
So based on your current field now and what you're researching in, could you share an experience where your skills were instrumental in making a difference or solving a significant problem?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much for that wonderful question. That's actually what we do right now, right? So as a student researcher involved in research, we get the hands-on experience to do things in the laboratory. You conduct the experiment yourself. And of course, you might be put through in one way or the other with the head of the mentor or other mentees in the lab, right? And once you do this, you're able to practicalize this yourself and generate results, right? And for me specifically, I'm involved in the cancer-related research. What we do in the lab is to synthesize these drugs. We are trying to develop alternative anti-cancer drugs that, would definitely help to address the limitations of the current or the conventional method of treatment for cancer. So we introduce other methods like introducing other therapies like the light-mediated therapy, photodynamic therapy, photothermal therapies. We try to as well combine this treatment with possibly other conventional treatment like the chemotherapeutic option. So we can have like a combination drug, right? And after developing the drug, we actually test it, which is my main area of expertise, right? So we test the drug on the cells, that is the human tissues, like the cancerous cells. We test them in the lab and then we'll generate some valuable results. And, absolutely with the results we generated, for instance, my research work is actually funded by the NIH grant. And so from there, we generate some results that we know is very promising. We try to publish some papers so that people can read and learn from it. And indirectly, what I'm trying to say is that all of this makes me fit to say that all of all of what I do actually is contributing towards, it's actually contributing towards me saying that I'm making an impact based on what I do. So all of this are what I do in the lab. And from there, people build on what other people have done, and then they can continue from there. And as we all know, it takes a while for the drugs from the startup point to the clinical aspect, just for it to pass, the clinical stage. It takes a while for all of this to happen. It's not one person that's going to do it, right? You have to work with other people, you collaborate, everyone works together, teamwork, you generate the result. And then from there, we just see that we find ourselves at the end of the tunnel. So that's just how it works. So basically what we do in the lab, how we research, how we do all of these things is very, very impactful. And that's how I try to see that I'm making a difference, right, with my STEM career. So even though I'm still in the process of getting the training, when I'm done with my PhD, at the end of my PhD, I would say, because the PhD definitely helps to develop you to become an independent researcher. So from all of these experiences, once you have all of these, you can then keep trying these at your own convenience, maybe not under the supervision of a PI, or possibly you get other research companies where you work for, or you can even transition into the academia. So all of these are what makes it very promising based on what we do in the lab.
Okay, that's really nice. And can you describe a mentor or a role model that has played a significant role in shaping your STEM career? And also, how did they inspire you?
Well, I don't really have too much experience with. Are you talking specifically about the female mentors?
Well,
It
it could
doesn't
be
really
female
matter.
or male mentors.
Okay. Well, the first on the list I could say is my mom, even though she's not in the STEM career, but of course, every time I benefit from what she has to say. And I could say that is one of the reasons why I'm here, our words of encouragement, the prayers, all of these are reasons that keeps me moving. Whenever you get inspiration, when you get words of encouragement from people around you, where they kind of believe in you even before you yourself. They kind of tell you, I know you can do this. This tries to inspire you and makes you keep moving. So all of these are the reasons. Like for my mom, she keeps encouraging. She's just like a backbone. She's very, very supportive, even though she doesn't know what I'm doing. I'm just saying, just to term it, because she's not a chemist, right?
Mm-hmm.
But she knows education will definitely help to take you there to what you can be. The saying that what I cannot achieve, I'm hopeful that my children will achieve. All of these are what she keeps persisting, and she keeps repeating all of this to our kids, that I know you guys can do it, and that is why I'm going to give it all it takes to make sure that wherever I could not get to, my kids would definitely get there and surpass that. So with all of this, I could say my mom, I also have some other mentors. Like when I was back home in Nigeria, while I was trying to put in my application here in the school in the US, I think I actually saw a post of one of my successor, right? The predecessor, the one who's actually comes before me, right? Yeah, that we actually in the same trend, right? So I saw one of the posts. In fact, recently was when he told me, do you know I still have one of our conversation? I'm like, what conversation is that? So just to cut it short, the conversation, he actually posted something, I guess, on Facebook. He was into diabetics research. And so he posted I think the result or the current findings in the lab. And then I had to message him on Facebook, and then I related with him and I said, I'm highly interested in this work you're doing. And he's like, really, you're interested? And the next question I asked was, how can I get started? And then he gave me some responses that I could not even remember just until recently, where he shared the conversation with me. Mm-hmm. And when I saw that, he gave me an hint that this is how you go about it, this is how you go about it, because this mentor was actually in South Africa as at when we were discussing. So he actually went to South Africa to obtain his PhD degree. So recently when I told him I have, to present my work currently, after the discussion, I definitely transited. And he knows about the update that I'm currently pursuing my PhD. Of course, he was very impressed with all of this. And then I recently called some caucus. I can call them caucus because we believe we have the same mission and vision. So I recently called them that, oh, I'm having my presentation soon because I have to present at a particular point in time. And so I called them to listen to my presentation. And so when he listened to my presentation, he was very, very impressed. And he really, he gave me very, very nice words. He said very nice words to me. And then he brought about this, like he reflected about the past, just trying to reflect on what happened previously. And to my greatest surprise, he had to send me the conversation. Even myself that wrote this, I could not even believe I did that at a point in time. But of course, it's a conversation. My name was actually there. It's not something that was changed. I know the conversation happened at a point in time because that was my mission. That was my prospect, right? But for someone to have kept this, I think right from like 20, I guess it was 2017 or so.
Wow.
2014. Yeah, I think right from like 2017, I could not even imagine. So people like these are the kind of people that I try to, be around. I try to get advices from them because it's always good to be amidst people of the same mission, people that can guide you right. So these are the set of people I try to bring closer to myself so that I learn from them and I can use that to think ahead. So I learn from them, we think ahead, and then we discuss together. This is the way forward. And I could say I have a lot of them like that. That was just an example that I cited. So this set of people are the people that I could say actually helped me with, that kind of serve as my role, like my mentor or the role model that actually made me, stay firm in this career.
Okay. Well, that's great to hear. And what are some of your goals that you're looking to achieve in the nearest future as a woman in STEM?
Thank you so much. Yeah, see myself in the next couple of years. I'm hopeful, with my PhD degree, the first thing in line is to be able to badge this degree. And once I'm done with this, I must have developed the skill, the expertise in becoming an independent researcher. And with this, based on my expertise in the cancer-related research, or specifically for health-related problems, I am very much interested in developing, making new drugs that will help to, to improve the living quality and prosperity of people that are really affected by one disease or the other. Maybe specifically cancer for now, because that is just what I'm focusing on. And then at the long term, of course, I have to start from somewhere. So I hope to be able to join a research lab where I could work and see what is currently ongoing in terms of drug formulation and see how we can address this health-related problem. And at the long run, I plan to own my own research lab where we, myself as well as other collaborators, of course, I'm definitely going to be having like some employees, right? And we can also work on this together to have a renowned lab that will be known for the development or the production of, drugs that would help just to improve the living quality of, quality of life of people. So that's my long-term goal.
Hey, that's fantastic.
Thank
And
you.
as an African woman in STEM, what challenges did you encounter when starting your career in STEM? And how did you overcome them to remain successful?
Right. Thank you so much. That question, I did not really understood that question until I became independent. How we have back home, you're actually supported by your parents. We just go to school, right? We don't have other responsibility. Our parents are there to help fund the bills. We don't have any other thought than to just go to school, get back home, we eat, maybe take a rest, relax, play all around. So this question actually became meaningful to me when I became independent. And this independency aspect of it actually came in place when I transitioned down to the US. So I'm grateful. I'm married with, a boy, a son. And I could say the major challenge was actually trying to strike a balance between work, school, the marital life, the family. the social life, and the career itself.
Mhm.
Because here in the US, trust me, while you are in school, you're going to be working. You have to work. If you're not working outside, as the regular work that we know here, you would definitely be working for your department or working as a graduate assistantship, a research assistant. Just to put it short, after school, you still have something you have to do for sure that definitely hands you maybe a stipend. So that is another work entirely. School itself is drilling, not to talk of having the job. So with the job, it becomes 2 in 1, right? And then for someone who is married with kids, family, that's another issue, right? All of this has to be combined. You have to be able to strike a balance because there is more to life than school, right? Although we also want to get, we are involved in this, we want the career, right? But even on our way to getting the career, we need some accomplice, which is like the family, because sometimes things don't go right in the lab. You still have to come back home and then discuss with maybe 1 or 2 people. Like, of course, the one who is married, you definitely have to discuss with your husband, this is what I'm going through. When nobody listens, he has to listen. So striking a balance between all of this, plus with my son, trying to manage all of this has been really challenging. But I can say with proper planning, you have to be able to plan, proper planning. I know we don't have more than 24 hours. Sometimes I think, oh Lord, I think I need more than 24 hours per day. Maybe, I don't know, but I need maybe 48 hours. So the 48 hours, if it can be that the 48 hours should be just, the 48 hours should still be in terms of 24 hours, then that would be nice. So I could at least accomplish a lot of things within the 48 hours because this 24 hours, it's not even, it's not sufficient to help me with all of these tasks. So I know it's very, very challenging, but with proper planning and support from family, loved ones, you can definitely achieve all of this. And trust me, whatsoever does not actually, I know it's challenging, but if it doesn't break you, let me use that term. If it doesn't break you, then it's, of course, will make you stronger. It definitely makes you stronger. So yeah, that's it. Striking balance has been the challenge as an African woman. Yeah.
Wow, this has been a wonderful interview. I've really learned a lot, and your field is so interesting.
Thank you.
So, just before we close, I just wanted to ask, do you have any advice that you would like to give young women who are considering studying or pursuing a career in STEM?
Absolutely, I do. Absolutely, I do. Yes. Thank you for that question. When I was back home, sometimes I think about it, how, like, how is it going to be possible for me to make it based on what's happening in Nigeria, especially if you're not connected? That has been the problem, right? We that were not connected, we actually have God. So with God, all things are possible. Right. So for upcoming women, I would definitely say, first of all, you should not lose confidence in yourself. Yes, you should not lose confidence in yourself. Also, I'm going to say that you should believe in yourself. Everything you do, you should, be hopeful that you can do things, even though when you think it's difficult. It can be done. Nothing is impossible. You just have to start from somewhere. Somewhere you look at a task to be very challenging, but when you just try to start, you will definitely see that, oh, I've just been able to accomplish this. When you look back at the journey, you'll be surprised at how you were able to conquer that. So firstly, don't lose confidence in yourself. Believe in yourself that you can do it just by trying something, explore new things, try something new. And of course, whenever you encounter challenge or any problem, try to consult people of similar mission, vision. They can be very helpful. After trying and you see that you are actually not getting this, then you should seek help from people. Seek help from people. People of the same vision and mission can actually help you to guide you right. They can be very impactful. They give you experiences, their experiences, and they share their experiences, and you can, learn from that and try to utilize 1 or 2 things from there. They are very, very helpful. And of course, hard work really pays. Put in your best, as I've said, and you should continue to pray for strength. You pray for strength, you pray for endurance, because trust me, you just have to be enduring. It's not easy. Actually, I used to say this adulthood is kind of like a scam. Yes, it is calm, because when I was younger, I thought when I'm like this, or when I get to this age, it's going to become more rosy. No, it's definitely not going to become rosier. So
Definitely.
you should have that at the back of your mind. Yes, it becomes tougher and tougher. But we don't say that, because if you say it's tough, then you are discouraging people. It's easy. Let's enjoy this easiness. Let's make sure we all enjoy this together, learn from this together, and then we'll all see that we'll be able to achieve our goal. Please don't give up. Don't give up. Sometimes in the lab things are not working. I try to back out. Like, why have I tried this thing multiple number of times and it's still not working? And then you have maybe your PI there you have to give reports to. How can you make this? How can you give report on something that is not helping, or something that is not coming out right? Well, the best thing is just to go and give report on the negative result. And from the negative result, we learn from our mistakes. From the mistake, why not try this? Why not try that? And then you see that things will later work out just from the input of others. So it's okay to always take a break when you think you are exhausted. Whenever you encounter any challenge, take a break and then think about it again. And then you see that you have this more strength to continue moving. I think all of these are very helpful, and it's going to be, um, it's going to definitely help you if you try to follow this path. And another thing, try to move out of your comfort zone. Whenever you are comfortable with something, I don't think that thing is definitely going to be the best for you. Anything that's going to be the best for you must definitely be achieved with a pain. Just like the saying, no pain, no gain. So have it at the back of your mind that what will make you get there, you have to pass through pain. So when you think of that, then it motivates you to keep moving. If something comes easy, then that is not the way out. It must definitely come with a form of challenge. An ability to conquer the challenge makes you keep moving. And you will see that at a point it becomes more interesting, that whenever you conquer a challenge, you'll be more happy to encounter more. But the prayer we usually say is, God, I pray you don't give me much challenge that I can bear. So just give me what I can do, give me what I can do. And so with my hard work, I should be able to conquer that. But absolutely, there is no pain, no gain. There is no gain without any pain.
Hey, thank you so much. It's been a real pleasure having you.